Hey YouTube, let's rock out. Now today's video, we watching another Jay Shetty video, but this time it's about like feeling stressed and stuck, like as you see. And the reason I chose to want to do this video today was because I ain't gonna tell you what I was doing, but you know what I'm saying. I hopped on YouTube and then I saw this, so I started watching it. I watched like the first 2 minutes of it, and I'm like, damn. Like I went and looked back at all my old videos and stuff. Like almost been recording for 2 years. November 15th, I have some special video coming out. But it made me realize how far I've came, and like I just remembered all of the stuff that I went through, everything that I battled, and how much I overcame, and here we are. You feel me? Now, the growth might not be as much as I would have thought back then, but the growth up here is everything I needed. So, like, the channel may not have blown up how I would have wanted it to blow up in the past year or two, but it's okay because we can only go up, and we've only went up. Like, every time I went down, there was a reason for it, and I found out the reason and came back up. Like, so it's... Bro, no matter what you doing, no matter where you at, it's okay. Just look at the good in it. Think about the bad and like bask in it, because you don't need that. You feel me? Because once you get to where you want to be and you just think on how bad that struggle was and how good you are right now, you be glad you stuck with it. You feel me? But you know, I can go on long tangents, man. I can go on long tangents, but let's get into it, man. I've seen the first.
In 2016, I moved out to New York. So just let me paint a picture of 2016. I moved 3 jobs. I got married.
Wow.
I moved country, and I just started a whole new life. Like my life just transformed. So we went through all of that with my wife in 1 year. And by the way, all of that was surprises. The job change was surprises.
Yeah.
The country change was a surprise. The marriage was not a surprise. We planned that.
Right.
But apart from everything else, everything was a surprise. Now I said I like surprises, so I can roll with it. But my point is, that's a lot of transition in a year.
So much transition.
And I felt the burden of being in a new city where we had no family, we had no friends. And my wife, who loves being around her family, and no one understands just how close she is to them, I felt this burden on me that I had taken away her time with her family, and now she was alone. So I was going out to work, and she'd be crying at home. And I was thinking, she's got no friends, she's got no support. And I know you can relate to this with moving and relationships and so much going on. And so it's like, I'm dealing with that, and guess what? 6 months later, I have to leave and move on and work on a new career to build everything myself, and then I'm 4 months away from being broke. And so on top of all of this, I've now got 4 months away from being broke. I've got enough money saved for 4 months to pay for rent and groceries, and that's it. In New York City, and that's it. And guess what? Even on top of that, I've got 30 days before my visa runs out and I'm kicked out of the country. So I can't even live here anymore. So not only have I just got married, moved job 3 times, changed career again, had to move into an apartment, 4 months of being broke, and I might get kicked out in 30 days, and my renewal for my visa costs $15,000.
Oh.
So that's gonna eat into those 4 months. I have probably never been under that much emotional, physical, and mental pressure in my life. Like genuinely, I felt it. And I felt my body change. My breath was more stressed. I would be breathing faster, shorter breaths, not deep breaths, heart beating faster, not working out. You get into lazy habits, you start craving junk food.
Sugar to get the energy.
I'm living in a 500 square foot apartment with my wife, which is tiny, like everything's in that space. And guess what? We both work from home. So I'm now sitting at a desk, hunched over, trying to figure stuff out. She's trying to cook in the same room. Like I'm trying to, just trying to figure out what to do. And I remember the next morning sending like 100 emails to people and just being like, this is who I am, this is what I can do, how can we serve? And that was the same year that I ended up meeting you later in that year. And the beginning 3 months of that journey was so stressful. Like they were so stressful because I was like, what if I have to move back to London? What am I gonna say to her parents? I mean, I just took their daughter away. Like,
Just got married.
I've lived in New York City for 6 months and my life's falling apart. Like, so much. And I've got all these views, but there's nothing happening. And we met.
But you also, I mean, at this time, you're also growing so much. How are you able to create and reach this impact with your videos as that's growing while you're under so much stress and uncertainty?
And I stopped a bit at that time. Like, things slowed down hard. Like, things slowed down.
I remember that.
I wasn't creating as much as I was because I don't enjoy creating from stress or pressure. And I don't think you can really create something from stress and pressure. So we really slowed.
I think I stopped at this point. I didn't get 5 minutes in. So this is, at this point of the video, I was like, yeah, I'm finna record. Because that resonated with me because, I just took a break. But it wasn't because of, like, stress and pressure. I was putting pressure on myself so that I could prepare myself for when the actual pressure of, okay, I got to get this video out this time. I got to get this video out this time. Okay, I got so many subs coming in and stuff like that. I'm already, in my mind, adapted to it. But, like I said, it was an unnecessary goal that I put onto myself, which kind of, in my subconscious, stressed me out without me realizing it. And then I just, burnt out. But, bro, I ain't got no, he's saying so much, and I want to, like, say things, you feel me? But it's, like, it's nothing to say, like.
Down at that time.
He's spitting.
And when I was creating from a place of recognizing that I could share what I had learned and what I had grown in so far. So anything I was sharing was like, this is what I've learned so far. So that was the biggest pain that I've been through in the last 7 years, for sure. And all I can say is that I remember coming home to my wife knowing that this was going to be the truth. And I came home and I said to her, I guarantee you, this is going to be the best thing that ever happened to us.
What? The pain?
The pain. I said that to her the night I came home, and she gave out for that. I literally came home, I looked her in the eyes and go, this is the scenario.
All bad things have good. Who is calling me? Hold up. With all bad, there's good. So, like yin yang, there's always a balance. So, no matter how bad things are, it has no choice but to have good things with it. It's just balance. Like, it can't be like this or this. It has to be like this. It has to. So, all the stuff that he was going through, all that bad stuff, we can now see the outcome of that. Like, he is so successful. He's interviewing all of these successful people, hearing their story, and he's, like, networking with them and stuff like that. And he has a book out. I'm gonna get it, man. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna let y'all know how it is. Think like a monk. Jay Shetty. But everything bad in your life will eventually get better.
I just want you to know that I guarantee to you this is the best thing that's ever going to happen to us. And I said to her, and this is a monk statement that we used to repeat, I said to her, I'm just not going to judge the moment. Don't judge the moment, because what we do is we try to label moments as good or bad. And when you label a moment as bad, it now does not have the opportunity to become good. I'll give you an example. If I go, I don't like this book's bad, right? And I love this book. But if I say that, guess what? I will never pick it up and recognize the value that's inside of it, because you've labeled it.
Yes.
And we label stuff, like we label, that restaurant's bad. But when you label a moment,
person's bad.
That person's bad. Now you can't learn from that person. Oh, a great one. That's a really good one. As soon as you start labeling people or anything as good or bad, you limit it. You stop it from being something else. And here's the truth. Every moment can evolve into being anything if you give it the opportunity to.
Right.
But as soon as you say it's got no value anymore, you lose it. And so for me, I had to say to myself, don't judge the moment. And I'd keep repeating that to myself.
Don't judge where you're at.
Don't judge
what's happening.
Yeah, don't judge it as negative. Don't just start saying it's negative. Because guess what? We've all been in positions where a gift turned into a curse and a curse turned into a gift.
That's true.
Right? We've also
where our
been
dreams
in the
came true and it ended up not being what we wanted.
Exactly.
And it fell apart and it led us into our dream.
Totally. Why is it that so many people that win the lottery go broke? Gifts can turn into curses too.
True.
But because we label them as the best moment in our life or the worst moment in our life.
So I started reading this book. I talked about it before. Secret of the Millionaire Mind, and I could kind of explain it. So when you come from a place of not really having that much money, and it all depends on your mind and how you think about money. But most people, like you would say, I say a person who makes around, like, I say a teacher, they don't really make that much. So if a teacher was to win the lottery, and they got so much money, they wouldn't necessarily know how to keep that money because they're not used to having that much money. So right now, I'll be honest, I don't really know how I would manage $1 million because I've never had $1 million. But if I was to have $1 million, 9 times out of 10, I will blow a lot of that money because I never had that much money. It all depends on, you know what I'm saying?
Whereas when you approach things to neutrality and just what you have on the table,
and what you're used to,
you're like, okay, what am I going to do?
And how do you think
One of
about
the greatest
money?
quarterbacks are neutral energy. They'll get a little excited. They'll get a little fist pump in there every now and then, but they're not hyped every play, and they're not negative every play. They have this calm. They see the field. You drop a pass, and it's like a little bit, let's go. But it's very neutral. Even when you score a touchdown, unless it's maybe the Super Bowl or a big championship at the end of a game, in the middle of the game, you want to keep it pretty like even keel paced so you can prepare for the best or the worst.
That's great. Yeah.
But if you're always up and down, it's like your energy levels will go up and down and you'll be exhausted.
Totally.
You need to have energy in life.
Totally.
And if everything is tied around a story of this is bad, this is wrong, I'm in a bad place, I'm messing up, I'm going broke, that energy is going to pull you away from service.
Exactly.
Or creation or creativity of how do I get out of this place. So I think it's really powerful.
I love that. And I used to have a coach, and I think a lot of coaches use this, or at least he used to say to us, he would be like, if you lose, cry for a day. And if you celebrate, if you win, celebrate for a day.
Yeah, that's it.
And then move on the next day, get back to training. Don't let it run.
Don't live in the past.
Don't live in the past. And what we do is when we lose, we cry for a month. And when we win, we just move on.
Yeah.
Which means that our negative experiences hold us back and weigh us down more than our positive experiences. So we're actually allowing, because we don't immerse ourselves in winning and growth, we only submerge ourselves in negative experiences.
Yeah, we need to celebrate also. We try to celebrate. I've been, that's been part of my life as well, is like moving on too quick. And now we try to let's go to lunch or dinner and really like appreciate this moment and celebrate this moment, and even have a dinner with some friends and family. Otherwise, what are we working so hard for?
100%. And we almost feel like we can't do that because that makes us complacent.
Right.
But that's my point.
It's never good enough.
Exactly. But if you win, celebrate for a day. If you lose, cry for a day, move on. Simple.
And you've learned so many lessons over your years. As a monk, you learned a ton of lessons, moving to, getting married, moving into a new country, building companies, launching products and books, and you've had ups and downs. What's been the biggest lesson in the last 12 months for you? Because you've created so much in the last 12 months. You've done so many things. What's been the biggest lesson for you in your life?
Oh, that's a big question. I think I'd have to say that and I was saying it to a friend on the phone this morning when I was on the way to you, and I was just sharing it with him because he was having a moment in recognizing this. There's a wonderful verse in the Manusmriti, which I talk about in Think Like a Monk. It's a monk book. And in the verse it says, when you protect your purpose protects you. Now, I want to unpack that. What I mean by that is, your purpose is like a rare jewel and a rare gemstone. And imagine you were walking around with the most expensive diamond or jewel in the world. How would you protect it?
You want to just
wave
it out, yeah.
Yeah, you want to just wear it on your chest.
It's like this.
Like a baby.
Holding it.
Yeah.
Putting a pillow around it, a blanket, protect it.
You'd protect it. And so your purpose is like that. And guess what? People are going to tell you every day that jewel is not worth anything. They're going to tell you that jewel is actually valueless. It doesn't have any impact on your life. They're going to try and take away that value. They're going to tell you that there's another jewel out there that you need to have more value. And what ends up happening is I love the word, look at the wording, protect your purpose. You have to protect it. So what happens is your success grows, you get more opportunities, more ideas, more things coming your way, temptations, but they can all take you away from your purpose. Distractions. And to me, I'm repeating this for myself because I'm like, I just want to stick to what I was born to do. And I'm so grateful that I get to do it. I'm so happy I get to do it. And I want to keep protecting it. I don't want to get lost in the waves. You know, you don't want to just get chucked in the waves of the ocean and just get lost and just not know where you're going. So for me, when you protect your purpose protects you.
So that's been your biggest lesson?
That's my biggest lesson.
Why? Do you feel like your purpose has been maybe distracted in some ways?
I don't think it has, but I'm saying it so it doesn't. Like
You're reminding yourself.
Yeah, I'm reminding myself. Like I'm preaching to myself right now. It's
especially
like,
being in Hollywood and the temptation of all these opportunities out here.
Totally, and I think for me it's a bigger lesson also because it gives me more faith. So I always encourage, and this is actually this is why it's my biggest lesson. I encourage so many people that I coach, so many people that I mentor, obviously everyone in my community and audience and everything, to go and follow that, go and live that purpose. And I see time and time again that when I see people trying to live their purpose, they are protected, that things work. When you're playing in your dharma and your purpose, things work, things move, you feel momentum. They happen. And I'm not saying they happen without effort, but they happen, they move. Whereas when you're not, you just constantly feel like you're grinding up against, you know, a wall.
I know. Challenges.
Just constant.
So what is your purpose and when did you discover it?
Good question. What is my purpose is simple. It's always has been not since the beginning because I discovered it afterwards. My purpose is making wisdom go viral. And I've stuck with that and I've kept it that way because to me, and there's more to it, making wisdom go viral through entertainment, I would say is my purpose because I believe that is something that is uniquely my goal, impact, and service. And the beautiful thing is I'm not limited to a platform. So that can be books, it can be podcasts, it can be TV shows, it can be movies. It's not limited. And this I learned by reading. I was reading after, and this was after my video started to get seen. This wasn't before I did it. It wasn't like I sat down and I wrote this fancy tagline. I was reading Salim Ismail's book called Exponential Organizations. And in this book, he talks about something called an MTP, a massive transformational purpose. And he says that every major person, organization in the world has an MTP. So an MTP has to be aspirational, it has to be massive, and it has to be service and purpose-based. So Google's is organizing the world's information. Notice it doesn't say we're an SEO company. Notice it doesn't say we do Google ads. They're organizing the world's information. That's how big they're dreaming. And when you're organizing the world's information, you can do driverless cars, you can do Google Glass, you can sell Google ads, whatever it is. And so TED's is ideas worth spreading. That's what they are, that's what they're about. So Jay Shetty is making wisdom go viral. That's what I'm dedicated to.
Now, damn, I ain't gonna fake it. Damn. I'm kind of speechless because, like, after a certain point, I didn't know what he was talking about because I didn't watch that. So that was like everything that he was saying was like it was really sticking with me. And like, wow, I really needed that shit. And I'm sure most of y'all need that. So you welcome. Like we gonna leave it right there. After this, I got some thinking to do. I got some planning to do. I got some reading to do. I'm still growing, man. We still growing. What's your purpose? But, you know, be easy, man. Go stupid. Go crazy. Go dummy. And I'm out.